Hi, my name is Angela Keogh, founder of Awaken Your Valuable Soul, and I have 3 questions for you. Do you ever feel overwhelmed, overworked, and like you're running on empty? If you do, I'm excited I'm meeting you because I've got the solution, and it's written up in my free special report entitled Awaken Your Valuable Soul, 3 Powerful Secrets to Increase Your Happiness and Confidence. And in it, it's specifically designed to increase the awareness of your truth of who you are, of your incredible intrinsic goodness, value, worthiness, and deservingness, of happiness and health, and also that your body, unlike what you might be feeding it of not good enough or ugly or fat or whatever, that you're beautiful and you're brilliant and you're amazing and handsome. And so to give you more tools and belief systems in which to support you as you're working towards your goals and dreams. And you might be thinking, wow, that's very generous of you. What's inspired all of that? And that's a great question. And I just know firsthand how it feels to feel low self-esteem, low self-worth. And despite all your best interests, it's like efforts, it's like, does anybody even care? And is it ever going to be good enough? And leaving a feeling of loneliness and unsupport. And so I also recognize the power of words too, to either uplift a person or destroy them. And I just dedicate all of my work to my amazing mom and dad who, like all of us, we're doing the best we can with what we know. And that's what's so exciting about life, though, is that we can always learn, if we're willing, more tools and skills to increase our learning level so we can create a different outcome. Because I believe if my parents would have known what I coach, teach, and train and speak about, that it would have created a different reality for them and for us kids. Because I am the youngest of 9 of an extremely volatile alcoholic, where my nickname was Double Ugly Stupid from my dad from the age of 9 till 19. And it just is so humiliating and demoralizing, and just doesn't give a whole lot of tools in which to do a lot of problem solving. And then on my mom's side, it's like she's the oldest of 12 and morbid obesity, and they've got the best hearts ever. And their mindset, though, created this lots of unhealthiness. And so to give them so much credit, though, of they're doing the best they can with what they know, it's like, can you imagine having an 8th grade education and having to feed 10 people? And I'd be really grumpy too. And then on my mom's behalf, she's a saint because she provided 3 meals a day for 10 people. It's like Thanksgiving every single day. So it's intense, and I just recognize the incredible efforts that they made, and I see them as extremely heroic. And I love too to practice forgiveness and compassion and empathy and understanding, and also recognizing their incredible, that they have the best hearts. And I love too academics and athletics, and despite the challenges, I love to work hard, and I achieved 3 state tennis titles and earned a tennis scholarship and graduated as a health and human performance specialist, and went on to get my registered nursing license and taught 6 a.m. aerobics for 8 years, and was leading Bible studies as well as leading Weight Watchers. And then a big pharmaceutical company recruited me and invested $100,000 in me, sent me back to Duke University, where I was taught by leading cardiologists, nephrologists, and neurologists about different disease states. And they placed me, get this, in a territory right outside of Beverly Hills in Hollywood. And I'm originally from Montana, and so it truly was just like, Ellie Mae goes to the big city. That's right, Grandpa. It was like so wild. And I just thought, gosh, Angela, after these 14 years of intensive, intentional effort about being a self-help, self-development, spirituality, learning from the top experts and all of that, immersing yourself, it's really paid off, because here you are, and now you can find your soulmate and start your family and just live happily ever after, like you've been so intentional about choosing. Well, you can imagine my shock and horror, where just 4 months later, I was unable to walk, unable to drive, sleeping 18 hours a day. A team of 5 medical doctors was working on my case. My mom had to come and live with me, and they ordered me on medical disability. And then finally diagnosed me with this horrible autoimmune disease where they slammed me with chemotherapy and prednisone. And it's like losing hair and was small compared to going into postmenopause and hot flashes, and then not being able to have your children. And then it's like prednisone, welcome to moon phase, as well as suicidal ideation. And so it's like there's some devastating consequences long term with these different medications. And I'm grateful because I was able to get back to my job in a month. However, it's like, I want to spare you all of this, because it hit me like a freight train. And what I've learned, it's like it's underlying subconscious belief systems that created that. And science is showing that 90% of our behavior is due to these underlying unknown subconscious beliefs. And the good news is that I know techniques that can easily eliminate them in a couple of minutes and replace them with empowering truths that are much more in alignment with the universe that creates the sun, moon, stars, ocean, and flowers, and just beauty in this world, as well as your kids and you, and just much more in alignment with much more of an abundant universe, and giving you much more support in walking with happiness and confidence towards your future goals. Because it's like the medical system told me I've got an autoimmune disease, it's incurable, I'll be on medications for the rest of my life, and I'll look forward to being in a wheelchair in 6 to 10 years. That's just the nature of autoimmune diseases. Well, thank goodness I put a deaf ear to all of that after a couple of years of total suffering and getting worse, and started making more intentional choices for myself, as well as opening up my heart and mind to different ideas and putting my Sherlock Holmes hat on and interviewing top experts for mind, body, soul, spirit, knowing you have to minister to all of those. And I'm happy to say that I've been prescription free for 9 years, unlike what the medical doctors told me. And also I entered a race where I placed first in my age division, 11th out of 357 overall, beating out so many that are half my age. And I say that to give you lots of hope and optimism and positive expectancy in regards to you and where you're at. Because regardless of where you're at, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, relationally, it can change if you're willing to consider some more knowledge to help equip you. Because like Einstein beautifully said, the significant problems you face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking you were at when you first created them. And so I want to just light a fire underneath you to get you to choose something different, because it is scary out there. I recently visited someone in the hospital and I was absolutely mortified at what I saw. I don't know if you've heard of MRSA before, but if you're sick and need to go to the hospital, don't, because you'll get even sicker being in the hospital. That's where MRSA is contracted. And it's like, it's such a travesty, because they talk about healthcare to make you feel good. And it's like the reality in the hospitals, they're sticking you with IVs and catheters and chest tubes and everything out of every orifice that are painful. It should be called trauma care. Vital signs every 4 hours, waking you out of dead sleep. How can you get better? So I want you to feel vital and alive and deserving of your health and happiness. And so enter your name and email address here so you can learn how to appreciate yourself more, so you are going more towards happiness and health, because that's totally available if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, which will be awakened, your inner cheerleader, and then be able to identify that negative self-talk to give you a different life. So if this resonates at all, enter your name and email address, and I will be happy to zoom out that special report and provide you with more empowering information. And because you are important and you're cared about, and you have to care about yourself first, because the beautiful thing about Awaken Your Valuable Soul, it's like a huge boulder being dropped on a placid lake. Awaken your valuable soul to activate your brilliant mind, to celebrate your beautiful body, to attract even more great relationships, and also attract more money, because you're giving all your value and your purposes and passions to the world, and receiving money in exchange for it, and able to see that potential because you've got a new mindset. So I'd love to work with you. And again, this is Angela Keogh, founder of Awaken Your Valuable Soul. Own your value and your worthiness, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.